Good day, everybody. I hope everybody's doing very well. Today, I want to talk about a topic that I've been meaning to talk about because it keeps coming up in the discussions where I talk about parenting and how parenting can affect a child negatively as a standalone topic, and that topic is neglect. Now, I'll read the definition that I have here, which is in the context of caregiving, right? When you are a caregiver, a parent, or a guardian for a small child. Neglect is a form of abuse where the perpetrator, which is now the adult, who is responsible for caring for someone who is unable to care for themselves, fails to do so. So this parent or this person fails to be there attentively, consciously with this young person who needs the affection, guidance, care, and also the basic human needs for them. So early childhood, which is while they're still toddlers, while they're still babies, where a child may look for attention in terms of if they're hungry, they cry to get food. Now, in the form of neglect, the parent might be there physically there, and when the child is crying, they either shout at the child or they take food away from them or they punish the kids by saying that if you're going to be quiet, I'll give you the food, and if you're not going to be quiet, I'm going to take away the food. So sometimes kids don't know how to react to that, and they learn that making noise might be a form of punishment, or they might get punished for that, which is in a severe case where they are malnutrition. Okay, so neglect is just a form of abuse on its own. So you have the physical abuse, which is now a form of neglect, which is what I just explained now, like with the giving of food and you don't give food. The other type of abuse is definitely where you are physically abusing the child if they're seeking attention or a form of affection from the parent. So let's say the child becomes clingy or they are excited to see you when you come from work, and the first thing that you do as a parent is like you shout at them and you push them away, or you physically touch them or move them. That can become a form of abuse, especially when it escalates into you beating the child constantly. So the child gets scared of expressing the emotion, be it, oh, I'm so happy to see you, and you're in a grumpy mood and you shout at them or you hit them because this child is making so much noise because they're just happy to see you. So they start confusing their own emotions with, if I express emotion, I get punished or I get yelled at. So I'd rather bottle my emotions and not keep and not say anything. So this one of the great experiments that you can look at, and please, if you have time, look at this. It's called the still face experiment. It's where you have a baby that comes in with the parent, and then there's an experiment done with the mom and the child where you see how the babies can actually read emotions from the parents, that if a parent is happy, they're happy. If a parent is sad, they try and soothe the parent. They try and make the parent feel good. And if that doesn't work, the child ends up crying because they don't know how to handle uncomfortable emotions. Now, that's the still face experiment is only for 2 minutes. Now, imagine if a child for 2 minutes starts crying and kicking because the parent is unresponsive. Imagine if that child had to go through that for years. They learn that the world is unsafe, the world is uncomfortable, the world is scary, and I have nobody to care for me. I'm alone in this world. So in the long run, that can look like I don't trust anybody. Nobody has my back. When it comes to commitment and relationships, they don't trust that someone can actually love them and be there for them, because the core person that was supposed to be there for them is the parent or the guardian. And if they couldn't be there for them, they don't know how to read that. So even if someone says, oh, I love you so much, oh, Mashla, you're so adorable, they're like, you're lying. What do you want? There's a trick behind this because I'm unlovable, because that's the message that they learn when they're younger. So that's the one thing when it comes to emotional attachments. The other thing, when it comes to cognitive development, the kids are slow, because with affection and play and emotions, kids learn to they learn to connect things with emotions, like, oh, if I play with this and this, that's how I learn A+1 is A plus B might be C, or 1+1 is 2, through playing. But now if they are playing or they don't have toys or games, they don't know how to connect. The part of their brain that connects or links things together is delayed because they are scared to express themselves. So cognitively, they are delayed. They might have social anxiety because they don't know how to interact with other kids, because when they were trying to interact at home, nobody was there for them. So there's such effects that are out there. Also, They have a lot of anxieties and stress levels because, again, they don't know how to trust, they don't know who to trust, they don't know, is the world really safe? Is someone out there to get them? Because if they express themselves, they might feel, I might get injured. So this is something that can be helped. This is something that can one look at through therapy, through counseling, and whoever you trust. But it's a form of trauma. Again, neglect is a form of trauma. You can get through it. You can get help for it so that you can break the cycle, and you can learn how to love yourself and also trust the world, that the world is a safe place. Unfortunately, maybe where you grew up might not have been that, but we need to understand that when a child is looking for attention, you do have naughty kids, but when a child is looking for the basic need of love, it's not just a luxury, it's actually a form of a basic human survival skills that helps them with life when they are older. So let's not be harsh on our kids. Let's not physically abuse our kids. Let's not be cruel. Let's not yell and shout and diminish the kids when you are in a bad space, because you are teaching the child that as much as I love and respect this person, this is what affection looks like. And that in itself is not an okay thing, because that is actually neglect. So I hope this makes a little bit of sense. Please look out for the still face experiment. It's by Dr. Edward Tronick. So you might learn a lot from that experiment. So break the cruelty, break the habits of being neglected and neglecting other kids or the kids around you, and actually become the best version of yourself and the kids around you as well. You matter most, and your children look up to you. I hope this helps, and I'll see you once again.